So at WrestleMania 25, obviously Undertaker and Shawn had an amazing WrestleMania match. I do want to bring up the star rating with you about it because I know people always get on at you about this. So that match from you got 4.75 stars, right? So just to
Yes.
set the record straight, you've always said that's a great match, right? So it's not that you're
4.75, many years is match of the year. And that match actually won match of the year. Um,
so my question
so
to you, my question to you about that is what
I was so close. I was so close on five. And as far as, I mean,
what
it
made it
was,
not get five, do you think? Like what was the one
I mean,
thing?
to me, five was a standard that, it's not, it's never about what didn't. It was just like when it was over, it's like, when it's over, it's like, man, this is like 4 3/4 or five. And they go, well, if I say it's 4 3/4 or five, and I've done this for many matches, that means 4 3/4. Five means, I mean, for me to go five means I have to go in there and go like, like this is whatever. And like if you said five, I mean, I was pretty damn close on five. There's not really a reason like people go, oh, it's because of this thing that happened in the match. And it's like, nah, it was just, you got to remember, I've seen all those Japanese matches and they're better, much better. And, this was a hell of a match though, but it was just, I mean, there's not really again, 4 3/4 is a great, great rating. I mean, people now, it's like, how do you give that thing 4 3/4? Like some whatever. And it's just like, you know, um, it's still, like anything over four is a great rating. So I thought, yeah, I mean, I thought it was, I don't know, one of the best WWE matches I'd seen. I did not think it was as good as Brett and Austin, if you're going to go with that comparison. I mean, in moves wise, you could argue it, but I don't think motion story, it was as good. I could talk about, but I'd already made my decision, talking with two of the greatest wrestlers of all time that night after that match, discussing that match. And neither of them thought it was as good as I did. And, they're probably like, if you think of two great friends of mine that were two of the greatest wrestlers of all time, you might even figure out who they were. But one of them basically said that any one of us could have done this match, but we never would because we were, basically doing everyone's finish. That's all we did. And the other one was just like, what was the deal? My turn, your turn, my turn, your turn, which was actually maybe one of my thoughts too, was that um, it didn't have the unpredictability to me because I just saw everything coming when it was coming, which is maybe my fault, as far as because I like something that like for me, like the ultimate super match is not I can predict everything. It's like I am stunned. These guys have taken my level of watching a match and twisted it, but made it successful. Like they've done things I wouldn't think of, but it works. To me, that's where you get like a super match. This one was, yeah, I saw everything coming and it was great. And I gave it 4 3/4 and I could have given it five. I mean, it's like, it's not a negative. I still think it's one of the best matches in WrestleMania history.
WrestleMania 30, the end of the streak and the Daniel Bryan, will he, won't he situation. With the streak ending and Brock winning it, did you see that coming and what was your reaction when it happened?
I did not see the streak ending. I don't know if anyone did, but if you're asking me, I was freaking stunned. But when he hit that last F5 before the three count, I did go, oh my God. Because I just thought he'd hit so many F5s. Wasn't it the third one, right? Yeah. I mean, like when you hit the first one, it's like, it's not the finish for sure. Hit the second one, it's kind of like, man, but it's not the finish because he ain't losing. When you hit the third one, and they're that deep into the match, it was kind of like, oh my God, he's beating him. And he did. So I would say I figured it out like the second it happened. But until then, there was like 0% chance in my mind that Brock Lesnar was winning that match. And um, and I know, Boyd, I know if you remember afterwards, so many people in wrestling were furious at that, going like, he should never lost, he should never lost. And I don't know. I mean, I asked, I never talked to Vince about it, but I did talk to people very close to Vince, and I go like, what was the deal? And it was that might have been Undertaker's last match. Obviously, it didn't end up being that, but we were afraid this is his last match, and we wanted somebody to beat him because what's the point of the streak unless somebody wins beats the streak? And Brock was the right guy. Somebody else would have self-destructed under it. It would have been Brock was the guy, and so that was the deal that year. And Brock, I know Brock pushed pretty hard for it too.